Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is the 2nd of February 2021. Uh, Today's subject, I call it the wrath of the gods, plural. I chose this subject because what's happening today in the West, in Europe, and in America, and specifically in the United States of America, and the parallel that it took place earlier at the time of Muhammad. There's very subtle. We know that history repeats itself, and even though there is no connection between Arabia 1400 years ago and United States today. However, I think because humanity in general, we have certain, I don't know, maybe psychological clock or something that it keeps going in cycle, and when something is not done right, it repeats itself again. That could be, I'm not sure. uh, but what I see is what happened 1400 years ago in Mecca when Muhammad was alive is happening today, specifically in the United States of America. So we're going to look at this carefully. uh, Many of you who are over 50, I'm sure you remember in colleges, in universities, in the 70s and in the 80s, uh, we used to have a dialogue. That means uh, you bring your idea, you come to an open place in also in like for example in Britain, in London, in Hyde Park area, and all over, not just France, all over, and in the United States, and you bring your idea and you talk and you discuss and you debate and you speak with your fellow students or whoever is in the area, and you could agree, you could disagree, and at the end of the day everybody goes his way and everybody's happy. You exchanged ideas. Okay, that was the case then. Back in Arabia before the coming of Muhammad, that was the case also. There was freedom of speech, freedom of religion, Second Amendment, freedom of carrying weapon. It was the sword back then, but I mean, it was their Second Amendment. Today, everything's it, it changed back then, and it is changing today. Muhammad came, and he was not accepted in Mecca. He tried for 13 years, 13 long years, but politely, first, politely, to try to convince the people of Mecca to follow him, that he's a prophet. All that he managed to do in these 13 years was to gather less than 100 people of the very dirt poor, and I may add ignorant people, to his group. And when he got frustrated, he started to use foul language and curse the people of Mecca and their gods. So people got tired of him because there were Jews, Christian, and atheists, non-religious. So it was a big mix. Mecca was a big mix. People coming from all over the world to do trade in Mecca. So you have everybody. And everybody is tolerant, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. And they used to discuss their faith and their religion and their ideas, and at the end of the day, everybody, you exchange ideas and you go home and everybody's happy. as it was in America and in Europe until probably the 80s. And then what happened? In Arabia, after the people got tired of Muhammad's insult to them and to their gods, they didn't actually kill him, they just told him to leave. So he left, he went to Medina, another city in Arabia, and over there he gathered some bandit thieves, okay, and he made them an army. He organized them to an army, and they started to go out and rob caravans to gather wealth. Now, today there is no gathering wealth by doing the same thing as Muhammad did. However, they gather wealth in a different way. So Muhammad have seen that the people who have money are the wealthy people in Mecca owe him. I deserve this money. I'm a messenger of God. The Jews were the most wealthy people in this region at this time. I reached to you for 13 years trying to convince you to come to me, to be under my domain, my dominion. You refused. Now I have an army. I subjugate you, and by force I take your wealth. I make it mine. Okay? Now, today in the West, that's not the way it is done, but it's done similarly. Few people with authority and power, okay, see that there are people working hard to make better lives for themselves and for their children. And of course, there are lazy people. Well, maybe not all of them, because sometimes actually life is hard on certain people. And if so, these people who are not lazy, but somehow they got into certain difficulties, these are the people that ought to be helped. But if you are able and you can work and you can produce for your family, you should. If you are lazy, then I should not give you my money to support you to sit, watch TV, and enjoy my money. So now you have people here in the West who are talking on behalf of these lazy people, trying to give them money. They deserve it. They are poor. So what do? We take money, we tax the wealthy. Huh? We get to take their money, give us more taxes. And if you don't, the authority will show to your house with machine guns to take your house, to take your wealth, to confiscate everything. And if you resist, you will be killed. It's very similar. Very similar. So you have these big giants now, whether it's tech giants or big companies, huh? Wall Street firm and stuff like that. They manage the wealth of the world. And if you come out of line, then they send the authority, the police, their long arm to attack you. So I was alarmed that my YouTube channel is demonetized. I mean, it's not like I was making big money from it, but the fact that they put you on the radar, it in a way, to me, I feel this is good. That's a good sign, because it means we are making a dent. And I would like each and every one of you to make a dent, to go. If you cannot make a YouTube channel, to speak to your friends, speak to your family, speak to your co-workers. We have to understand that we are living in a very difficult time at this time, and we are under attack. Freedom is under attack. It's under attack from the Muslim ideology, and it's under attack from socialism. And there's not much time left. So, uh, Muhammad started this way. He made the people whom he didn't like, after he tried with them, uh, to change them to his way, to be their boss and to tell them what to do. They wanted to be free. So the same thing today is happening. We'll see the parallel of the mask today and what Muhammad did in the past. It's actually the reverse. We'll see. Muhammad, when he came, he had a certain look. He believed to grow his beard, shave the mustache. So when you see, there are many people in the West who grow beard, but the Muslim beard, especially the sect that called Salafi, they shave the mustache. When you see a person just the beard without mustache, rest assured that if he looks Middle Eastern, or he is a Muslim Salafi. The women were asked to cover. So back then, at the time of Muhammad, if the woman is covered and a man next to her with a beard without a mustache, this is a Muslim couple. He could be one man with 4 wives and few concubines with him, and that's a Muslim man with his wives and concubines and all of them his women. Very clear. If you are a Jewish person or Christian or whatever religion you have other than Islam, and walking on the street with your wife and children, in a way, you don't follow that. You don't subscribe to that. So probably your face is shaved as a man, and the woman probably her face is showing. So automatically you are an infidel. You've been already separated from the herd. Yes, herd. So today, the similarity is very amazing. Instead of condemning the mask or the cover that the women put, they are asking us all to put a mask. The government, the authority, the gods, the socialist, as Muhammad did in the past with the Muslim. He asked them to wear a mask. Now, if you do not wear a mask, you are the rebellious person. Okay, you are the one who is going against the gods. Easy to be spotted. I don't like to wear a mask. I don't wear a mask, and I said it before in my last video that I caught Corona. My wife did. A friend of mine did. We were having a gathering, and a very old man, over 80, he got it. None of us died. There were from 3 years old up to over 80. Got it. Okay. Only the very old man went to the hospital for about 10 days, and another man, 72 years old, he stayed in the hospital for 4 days. But this because he also has high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart condition. So they were monitoring him, and in 4 days he came out. Thank God I got it. I didn't know, but because these people tested positive, I went, I tested, I was positive. I didn't know. I didn't go to hospital. I didn't go to doctor. And believe it or not, catching cold, it put me in bed worse than the corona. I'm not saying go ahead and catch corona because I don't know your situation. I'm talking about what I went through. I didn't even take Advil. I didn't know that if I did not test, and I tested because these people went to the hospital. When I tested positive. My wife tested positive, and anyway, uh, everybody in my house tested positive. None of us, none of us went to the doctor or to the hospital. So this is really, in my opinion, this is a scam to get you to obey and follow, or else. This what Muhammad did in the past. If you appear non-Muslim, then you will be harassed and probably killed on the street, and your family cannot ask for justice because you are an infidel. You are not Muslim. Okay, today, if you don't put the mask, you are rebelling against authority. You are putting us at risk. You are destroying our health. So you can be actually isolated, put in an asylum, or who knows. Okay, you don't follow the gods, you will be eliminated. Okay, that was the first step. The second now uh, is the vaccine. For example, I like to travel a lot locally, I mean domestically and internationally. Now they are talking about uh, if you don't take the vaccine, you cannot travel. Ah, because you're a bad boy or a bad girl. You don't obey the gods. You don't obey the authority. So, if you are a bad boy, bad girl, you cannot travel. They take your freedom to travel. You see how it works? Before, you can recognize the Muslim people by their attire, how they are dressed. Huh? They don't shave, the man, they shave only the mustache, and the woman covers up. Now, everybody covers up. Those who do not cover, these are the infidels. You don't take the vaccine, you don't travel because you're an infidel today. And I believe the next step will be the microchip that they are talking about for a while now, to inject a micro. I believe some countries in Europe already, many people put that microchip in their hand. So when you scan it, all of your information, everything comes out. So the government can see if you are a good boy or a good girl or a rebellious boy or girl. Okay? So today, this is what's happening here. Now, if we go after Muhammad, also Hitler followed the very same uh, method. For example, he ordered the Jews. I don't know. Why is it the Jews makes everybody sensitive? He ordered the Jews to wear a star. Huh? Why? Because you are the infidel. To Hitler, you are the infidel. You ought to be recognized so that people, if they want to spit at you or kick you or kill you, you are an open target. Okay, so uh, that is their method. They separate people from each other, and you obey. you obey. If you don't obey, then you ought to be eliminated. So we are coming to that situation today. Um, 1400 years ago, Muhammad established this stuff, this ideology for humanity to follow, and it seems to be working. Socialism is Muhammad was, in my opinion, he was a very smart man, even though he was illiterate. That does not mean he was stupid. He was actually ahead of his time. He set that formula 1400 years ago, and today many people, whether it's Hitler, Lenin, uh, socialism of today in America, in Venezuela, in North Korea, in communist red China, they are following his formula. They are following this formula. So now, we what President Trump tried to reverse this, working hard for 4 years. In less than 2 weeks, Sloppy Joe have signed so many executive orders. They are desperate. They want to return to what it was before Trump so that they can have the total control. They seem to be giving us freedom. Liberal Party or Democratic Party and Conservative Party, Republican and Democrat. We are free nation. We are free people. We choose. But reality is these two parties are one. They just have the name Republican and Democrat. Donald Trump came from outside. He was actually free thinker. And because of that, he was a very successful businessman. He is a very successful businessman. And because of that, he can look at the situation and assess that, oh, that does not look right. This has to be changed to this to produce good fruit, or get rid of it completely. The borders are broken. People are pouring from South America coming. Many of them are criminals, and many of them are selling children for the sex industry, like for prostitution. All that has to stop. So he built the wall. Sloppy Joe wants to remove the wall. Why? He he wants to free the criminals that were caught in America committing crimes. Some of them committed murder, rape, all stealing, all kind of criminal activity. He wants them to be set free. This is crazy when an average person think of that. What are you doing? But he is fulfilling the agenda of the gods who stole the election and put him up. He wants them. He wants to go on the path that put for him. So my hope is that every one of us, if we cannot, we have to speak. It doesn't have to be on YouTube, because I don't think I will be on YouTube for long, because I got the wrath of the gods on, and many people are, and is not. I will not fight YouTube. YouTube is just an arm by the elite put to do something. It's very easy to get rid of these arms. I said before, the roots is socialism. We ought to fight socialism and Islam, these two evil ideologies. If these are gone, for example, if there was no Muhammad, you wouldn't find Sharia law. If there was no Muhammad, you wouldn't find Quran. If there was no Muhammad, you wouldn't find Hadith. Okay? The same thing. If there was no Karl Marx, you wouldn't find Marxism. You wouldn't find the elite who are trying to apply this ideology in Venezuela, in North Korea, in Cuba, in whatever country. So let's do something. I'm not just giving this parallel and the things I saw in Egypt and how the terrorists advance their agenda, and I compare it to what's happening here in America, just for fun or just for information. But please talk to your friends. Speak on the, if you're an atheist, go to the street corner and speak of the evil of Islam and the evil of communism. We thank you and we hope to hear from you.